This is an interview with Manoush. Welcome.
Debbie Rashon.
First of all, tell us about the beginning of your career in horror movies. How did you get started?
Oh, I got discovered after a show with my old friend Annie. Right off the stage, started making movies, and the offer just kept coming.
Mm-hmm. What was the first one?
My first movie ever. Oh, fuck me, Dad. I have no idea anymore. I really don't know what my first movie ever was. I have no idea.
It was a long time ago. Okay.
Yeah, it's like 10 years ago.
Well, do you have a favorite movie that you've done so far?
A favorite? Actually, I like almost all of my movies. I couldn't say there's a favorite one. If I wouldn't stand behind a movie, I wouldn't like a movie, I wouldn't make it.
Mm-hmm.
I turn the other down.
What's your favorite character that you've played so far?
My favorite character. I liked the Mother and Barricade a lot.
Mm-hmm.
She was kind of cool. I liked the Mother and Barricade a whole fucking lot.
It was very intense. Very, very intense. And what was the most extreme film of all the movies you've made? Most extreme violence?
Well, actually, I have to say this Philosophy of Life.
Mm-hmm.
It's the most extreme movie because it's so close to reality.
Mm-hmm.
Philosophy of a Knife is definitely a mirror of reality, a mirror of human beings, and a mirror of human conscience and consciousness.
Mm-hmm. So it'd be the most extreme?
Yeah.
Okay. You participated in one of the most extreme German films of last year. For example, Cannibal by Marion Dora. What was it like to work on that?
Well, you know what I liked about Cannibal? That was just like Philosophy of Life, so close to reality. You know, the story in Cannibal is a biographical story. It really happened that way. So it was a challenge for me. I really, really loved that movie. And it was cool to participate in it.
And that was based on a real cannibal that lived in what country?
Yeah, his guy was, what was the name of this guy? Armin Meiwes from Germany.
And
He found a guy in the internet. He was looking for a guy to kill and to eat. And he found a guy who wanted to be killed and eaten, and they fucking did it.
And he put up the post, I'm looking for someone to kill and eat.
Yeah.
And somebody answered the post.
He answered. They made up. At first it didn't work. They made up again. And they made the whole thing work.
Wow. And this is exactly what the movie was about? The life story of this guy?
It's very, very close to the real story.
Wow. That was...
It's pretty intense. You gotta watch that movie.
Yes, I definitely will. What do you think about
it? I did it at home, by the way. I did it at home. When you come along, we're gonna watch that movie.
Yeah, that's...
You ain't gonna barf on my floor, will you?
I what?
You ain't gonna barf on my carpet, will
Barf
you?
on? I may. But I'll clean it up if I do.
You lick it up.
Yes. I will eat it again. I swear to God. What do you think about violence in movies? Are you for it? Against it?
I don't see any problem with violence in movies because it's artificial. You know, it's all fake, it's all trick.
Mm-hmm.
And I think those moralists who jack off on violence in movies, they should take a look at the real world. I think people in the real world can be much more violent. You know? Reality can be much more violent than we could ever be in any movies.
So you think that showing violence and sometimes glamorizing violence is not a bad thing?
No, definitely not. I think it's a psychotherapeutic thing for some people even. Mm-hmm. Getting rid of their frustration. And in one way, it's sociological work. Better let them get off at violence in a movie than go out and beat someone to death.
How did you get involved with Philosophy of a Knife?
You know, I got to know Andre like 1.5 years ago, something like that. 1.5 years ago. And it was just a click and spark between my ways of working, my ideas of good work and his work. There was an immediate click and spark. I think he's fantastic. He's a real artist. He's like, he makes movies in a way like Salvador Dali painted its picture, painted its paintings. And it's kind of apocalyptic what Andre is doing. It's so cool. It's like watching Salvador Dali moving on LSD or something like that. And I so loved it. And Andre and I spent nights and nights talking. When then finally, of course, we ended up, when he made Philosophy of Now, of course, we ended up working together. Mm-hmm. We had the same goals, the same ideals, and it just fit. It was a perfect match.
A perfect match. Mm-hmm. And what did you walk away learning from him, from working with him?
But actually learning, it was more confirming things that I knew. Mm-hmm. You know, human beings have a consciousness. They are conscious of their own consciousness. And human beings use this being conscious of their own consciousness, actually preferably for the bad. Actually, I knew that, and Andre knew it. It was just adding up to a cool story when we worked together.
Mm-hmm. And how was it different working on Philosophy of a Knife from other movies? What's the difference?
The difference is that Philosophy of a Knife is not fiction; it's reality. It's absolute brutal reality. We have pictures in the movie about real people. It's real people, real bodies, real corpses and stuff. It's not all fake.
They used archival footage and such?
Yes, we used a lot of archive footage.
What were some of the complexities for you working on this movie?
Actually, there were no complexities.
Very simple?
Well, yeah, I could, when I watched the movie, I saw a first version he sent me to enable me to work on the movie. And when I watched this Japanese nurse, for me, it was quite easy to get into her, to feel the way she felt, to speak the way she speaks. There was, between this fictional person and me, there was another immediate click and spark.
For the director, Andre, the film was not a horror movie.
Yeah, no.
It's, what do you think about the Philosophy of a Knife, how he approached it? What would you call it?
I call it a documentary, a very open, very realistic documentary. Mm-hmm. You know, Andre is not pussyfooting. He's not pussyfooting around shit. He's not trying to give people shit. He's just telling people, this is reality. Mm-hmm. Here, you got it. You got it the way it is. I will not mask it. I will not camouflage it. Here's your facts. Watch it. Take it or leave it.
What do you think his approach was coming from his point as the filmmaker? Just that what you said?
Well, yeah, I think Andre is a very sensitive and highly intelligent person. That's how I got to know him. Mm-hmm. And I think he likes to show people things to enable them to learn something from it. You know, some people might learn from it and other dumb asses or corrupted pigs or something like that, they won't ever learn from it. But at least Andre tries to show people something. And those who are clever enough, who are smart enough to learn from it, they would learn from it. And the rest of the trash won't learn from it or even use it for the worst.
So obviously his work affects people on an emotional level.
Yeah.
It's very
Andre's movies, all of Andre's movies, even the horror movies, all of Andre's movies are very, very touching and emotional in their own special way.
Sometimes in your films you do some stunts, and you've even assisted in special effects makeup. Yeah. Do you want to be more involved in film production than just always being the star?
Well, yeah, all of it has its positive sides. I like to do it. I like to do stunts. I like to do special effects and stuff. I'm really, really interested in the things I'm doing. And if you're interested in the things you're doing, then you should know about every step.
Are you interested in getting into other areas of filmmaking that you haven't been in yet?
Like producing or directing?
Mm-hmm.
Never been interested in that. It's too technical for me. I'm not a technical person. Not at all.
What is a scene in, say, one of your films that was most difficult for you, and why?
What was most difficult for me? I don't think I ever had a scene that I found to be really, really difficult to play. No. Never. Actually, never. Mm-hmm. I'm just into the character. You know, I work until I know I am the character. And if you are the person, if you don't play it, you won't ever fall over difficulties like that. I've never experienced it myself.
So it comes naturally. You work on the character, you understand it, then it's just very natural.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. It's a hard work to become the character, but then it all comes naturally. It all comes fluently. It just comes out.
Mm-hmm.
So
you also make music for film soundtracks with your band. What are some inspirations of your music, and what movies that are upcoming that can we hear your music in?
Inspiration, actually my inspiration is people, is the outside world. That's why I mainly sing about suicide, about death row, about executions, about murder, gang life. It's experiences. Part of my songs are really autobiographical, partially autobiographical. And movies we put it in, that's, Philosophy of a Knife, we are in with Dead Before Born. In Craig, I've been in with Cyanide Savior, with Cruel is My Love, Sore is My Heart, where I had an appearance as myself with Cyanide Savior. In Heiko Bender's movie, Children of the Night Part 2, At the End of Eternity, we are in. I think, in Timo's movie, in Fearmakers, we are in with something. We wrote a song for Barricade Part 2, and I forgot something else. I fucking can't remember. There was more. I think this British TV series. What's that? I have no idea. I forgot. You gotta ask my husband. But
there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So what are some projects coming up for you?
Like movie?
Sure, movies and musical.
Oh boy, what do? I have a British pilot being shot in Manhattan. I think it's called Blood Dealers. That's going to be in July. In August, I'm going to be in Europe, forgot for what. In September, I got to return to the US and be in Texas to film Demon Doll. In January, I'm filming Rage Eternal Demons. There was something else. There we go, ask my husband, call him. I have no idea about my own fucking schedule.
Is there anything else you want to add?
I don't know. I just think that Debbie's good. Look.
Oh. Yay. Thank you.
Thank
Manoush.
you.